Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Talking Horses. Greg Wolf, Andy Serling, Thursday, back in action. Do want to remind people we will not be on Fox today. I don't know the extent of what we're showing.
Back tomorrow, noon Eastern.
Yes, we will be back. This week is a little bit. We're on for just a few 2 hours, I think, Friday and Saturday, and then. But I think it's pretty much good after that as we go forward. But this week is a little bit sparse on Fox.
Okay.
So we won't be on Fox. We'll be alternating, doing some prattles between races, and head over to Naira Bets. You know the drill. Bonus 200. We'll match the $200 of your initial deposit. Play any track, anywhere, anytime. What?
Pick six carryover yesterday. Did you see what came in the pick six? It paid amazed.
What did it pay?
It came in over 14,000.
Were there tough results? I wasn't really paying much attention. I was busy all day. I watched the races, but I didn't really pay attention to one.
I'll pull it up. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, it was a carryover. No carryover today. It's funny, I watched, but I didn't really pay attention necessarily to whether it was shorts or longs winning. All right, we have the Friday feeder contest, $40. You have until post time tomorrow. Of course, you'll have till post time Saturday if you just want to play the $300 Saturday contest. But if you want to play Friday, you want to go, Greg? You can do it anytime. Get the info
Second
at NairaBets.com.
Wrighton was 9-2 as a first-time starter. Favorite, even money. Refua, I think 7-1.
Yep, $17.
Paid a lot bigger.
Yeah.
Devil in Disguise, $6 for the win.
Right.
Mr. Brownstown, favorite.
$8, yeah. Wow.
Paid $12,623.
Pick sixes are a funny animal, and I know you've played them, and I've certainly played my share in my day. They are about putting tickets together. And if people think it's about handicapping, they're kind of missing the boat. Handicapping is great, but it is not how you hit pick sixes. A little bit, but it's part of the equation, right?
Yeah, ticket construction is more important.
Yeah, so much more important. So listen, I mean, one of the best pick six players that I've known in my life. So extremely mediocre handicapper, but about as good or better as you could possibly be at putting together
different
tickets.
skills.
Yeah, they're different skill sets, and it's hard to have both. My friend Nick Tamaro is somebody who has both skill sets. He can handicap, and he knows how to put together tickets very well, but it's not easy. Anyway, what do we have next? We have a $15 bonus, I think, if you bet 75 here at Churchill. So if you're playing here in Churchill, opt in for that. Get a $15 bonus. You were just telling me Magnitude announced he's running in the Clark.
Yeah.
I assumed he was. We were talking about it because I saw he was in training. $10, if you're playing Horseshoe Indy today, opt in for this. You get a 10% win bonus as well. I think that's it, right, Eddie? Is that all? There we go. All right. Race number one. Race number one is a race that I just went a little bit crazy with my pick because I found myself having trouble defending the logical horses. Now, I've got Waj at third. You've got him fourth. We'll take a look at him breaking his maiden for Linda, and I am not going to be at all surprised when he wins this race. I will be surprised if he's the 4-1 morning line. That I don't think is really a possibility. And if he is 4-1 morning line, I don't believe he's going to win this race. He's a horse that was a failure over and over again at short price for Chad Brown. He wins off the claim for Linda, runs back to basically his figures for Chad, and then he runs a stinker a couple months later, and now he's been gone for 7 months. He's running for the waiver. I don't know. 5 to 9 month layoffs in Durf sprints. Linda Rice is 15 for 86, 17%, $1.34 ROI. So she doesn't have great numbers. I don't know. I just don't really want this horse, but is he the horse to beat? I don't know.
Good Lord, no.
Who is the horse to beat?
I mean, he wins that race on the lead. There's two other confirmed speeds in here.
I agree. The 1 and 3 are supposed to be going in
and
this
off
race.
the bench since April, out of a race where he was awful for 16 winners and 2, I want no part of that horse. Yes, anyone could win in this race.
Dark Vector is probably the horse to beat. You're right. But these are not connections that win a lot of races here, and you're taking a short price.
Yeah, he's consistently run a lot faster races than anyone in this spot. I thought leading role, those races are inflated. He's run very slow. He's got to take a big move
His
forward.
last race was awful.
Yeah. Look, Smile and Say Cheese, that's a horse who was a short price favorite, dropping from 30 non-winners to 2 last start. That was a deserving, pretty heavy favorite in that spot. I think this horse has consistently just been running the better races, the reliable horse in the spot, and can sit off those speeds early and get a nice trip.
I think he's the horse to beat. I agree with you. I'm not.
He's 1 for 15, having said that.
Right. He's 1 for 15 with 6 seconds, And at least with leading role, you're getting a horse dropping. And I do think with that, that's important, and that's probably why he's favored in the morning line. How good is he? I don't know. He's a horse claimed away from Bill Morey. That doesn't particularly do a lot for me. I know Cool Hand Rich is dropping, but he hasn't run since his debut, and even his debut wasn't that good. As far as enduring spirit, my worry with him is he's not good enough. My other worry with him is his best races have come when he's in front, and he's not likely to be in front in this race, to say the least. On the other hand, he is dropping. He picks up Savine Savaci, who does seem to do pretty well. And I just thought he was the kind of horse who's been running against better horses. He'd be a square price in a race where I cannot bet any of the shorter priced horses, and I can lose a few dollars on him. I'm not convinced he's good enough. He has a couple races that are fast enough, but for the most part, he's a bit slow. Having said that, he is dropping down, had a little bit of a freshening, and I just thought he might be interesting as a sort of new face in the crew.
Yeah.
So I put him on
get
top
a price,
without a lot of confidence, right? But I don't want to bet the 1, I don't want to bet the 2, and I don't want to bet the 6.
Okay.
So I just didn't know what else to do, and I don't want to pick shorter prices just because. Race number 2. So Systemic Change, who will show, who's the morning line favorite. You picked him too. Yes, he has. He's not exactly a forwardly placed horse. Who's riding him?
I did. Let me check
I
here.
didn't get the
Rosario's
changes.
targeting
Joel is
November
hoping to come back
20th,
next Wednesday. Yes.
and then off to Oaklawn after early
I
December.
know. He told me he's going to Oaklawn. I'm sure. I think Luis Saez is going to Oaklawn too.
Manny Franco is going to be aboard.
Manny's riding, and Manny is aggressive, and Manny understands that this horse is a little bit pace compromised. So I imagine Manny will do what he can to get him in position, like Joel did in this race. Then last time out, a mile 3/16, a race dominated up front, better horses. And the thing is, I didn't want to pick Suerte on top. I know Suerte's the speed. I absolutely understand what's interesting about Suerte, and I think he can win. But man, is he unreliable. And he's also moving up and running against better horses in some ways than he's been running.
I didn't like that.
And I just don't really, I don't trust that he's really that good anymore.
Yeah. I wanted to put Brewpub on top. He's coming back in 7 days. He's got 17 runner-ups.
Doesn't win.
I'm concerned about that quick comeback, and he's stepping up a little bit as well. Systemic Change for me is a standout in this spot. I think he is double your money. Just ran second of the Grade 3 Greenwood Cup at 1.5 miles. Navajo Warrior, who beat him 3 starts back, has won 5 in a row for Saffie Joseph Jr. That was number 4 in a row. He won with a 90 buyer. He's been facing so much better company.
Yep.
It's not even close.
And he's also running against a bunch of horses that are mostly moving up in company.
yeah.
So that's sort of problematic, like Skylander. And we'll look at Skylander's last race. Listen, Skylander is a horse that's competed at this level before. He seemed to get his act together dropping down to this bottom level. Do we really trust him to run it again? I could see him winning this race, but I don't trust this horse at all.
Yeah, it was a big move forward. He's got back class too, but yeah, he dropped all the way. I mean, basically the bottom, 12.5, not quite 10, and now he's jumping back up to 32 against a couple of really good horses. Brewpub, Systemic Change. I want to see it again from him.
He's a classic. Last time was the time.
Yeah.
Getting 9-2 on him, dropping down to the bottom, and now he's moving up. Maybe he's back in form, but he's going to have to show me. So we'll see what happens in race number 2. Race number 3. Curious what you did in race 3. We'll start with a replay of your horse Hellacious, and I thought he ran fine in this race. This is running third in his only turf sprint. I know he tried to go long last time. He was pretty bad last time, though.
Yeah, but I'm not that worried about it. Maybe he's just a turf sprinter because at this race he showed that ability, turf sprinting. He debuted on dirt. This was the turf sprint start number 2 for Pletcher. Our Starry Night came back and won an A other than at Keeneland 2 starts later, who won this race. Quando, who was second.
He's been in great form.
Great
Raging
form.
form
Won
since
his
that
next.
race.
He's had a couple of thirds against A other than
Been in
company.
great form. Yep.
And Hellacious was right there behind him.
I think he's supposed to be. I'm going to disagree with David. I cannot imagine that Todd Pletcher, with this horse dropping, is going to be 9-2.
I agree with you,
And
yeah.
Snare, and I don't have a problem. Snare can certainly win this race, but I don't see how Snare is 5-2 and Hellacious is 9-2. I thought Hellacious would be favored here.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure he shouldn't be, by the way.
Snare has a good effort. He faced Spiced Up, who won the Grade 3 Mahoney. He was third, too. Distant third.
He's just had so many chances, though.
I agree. There's
doesn't-
more upside with one.
I agree. I agree with you. I think Hellacious is the horse to beat. I'm not saying Snare can't win. I'm going to be surprised if there is a significant difference in price, and frankly, I think Hellacious will be favored, though I'm usually wrong about this. There aren't that many other places to go. I like the two quite a bit in this race. I'm surprised you don't have this horse in there. I think if you go back to his one race on the turf, the first place finisher, the second place finisher, Quando, the third place finisher, Snare, every single one of those horses was on the rail. This horse broke a half slow and was 3 to 4 wide around the racetrack. Gets a rider switch off of that race onto the turf in Louis Rivera. I thought that race was fast enough to compete in this race, or at least close enough against the track, and I like Private Flight getting back to sprinting on the turf. I don't like his last race, but his other races were pretty good, and I think he's a turf horse that just was in the wrong spot that day.
Okay.
So I like him.
I thought a little bit of interest for the 4 getting on turf for the first time. The Dam actually did win on the grass. She wasn't great on the turf. She was 1 for 11, but she did win Breaker Maiden with a 77 buyer at 7 furlongs on the grass. Second Dam is Jostle, Alabama Coaching Club of America.
Right, but it's dirt.
Winner.
And even though the
that's
Dam
fine.
produced a turf winner, they're really dirt horses. That's the problem.
No, agreed. But it did win on the grass, and this horse has faced some pretty darn good horses on the dirt with some, not success, but ran well against them.
I love Bruce Levine. He's
Sacrosanct,
taking
super
a shot.
swift.
I wished I could have made a case for this horse. I couldn't. I would use Billy White shoes a little bit because I can never leave Bill Morey horses out. But we'll see what happens in race 3. Race number 4, I know this is the race that you've been excited about for days. And we'll take a look at Peak beating a OP Firecracker. And I'm picking him 1-2 again. I don't see why I'm supposed to pick against Peak, who's probably going to be stalking Winter's Ghost. And I don't see any reason I should take anybody against him.
Yeah, drawn outside, that first turn comes quick, but he's got tactical ability. I think he's, of anyone in this field, he's probably best at the distance at 1 1/8 miles. I just felt OP Firecracker a little, he throws in some real bad ones every once in a while, and I know it was probably a tougher group last time out. And Bob John Ray, 2 good efforts on off-the-turf races at Monmouth that make him a big contender. I kind of question his ability here.
Yeah.
I think Peak's sort of the, I hate to say reliable for 10,000, but he's in this group sort of the reliable choice.
I agree. If he runs his last race, he's going to be very tough to beat. And I thought that OP Firecracker was the other horse. You've got Bob John Ray second. I want to see him run those races in New York because his New York form, other than when he beat me for a score in a maiden race, has been pretty atrocious. But we'll see.
Yeah, I will say Winter's Ghost, Lewis. I put a total line through that race last time out. That sprint was a setup. I got to think for going longer. It just seems like, I mean, he has some ability.
He does,
going
for
1
sure.
1/8.
He does.
So he's a little
been
interesting.
struggling, but he's definitely good enough to compete in this
Now
race.
they got to win the other day. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay. I'm not trying to beat Peak. I didn't have a great deal of interest in anybody else in here, but I agree the 3 and 4 are certainly live. Take a break after the 5th. The 5th is a very, very interesting race, and I do think it's important to note that Starship Ava gets in here.
Yes.
And she ran extremely well last time out, and probably the best race of anybody. The winner actually ran pretty well also. And I think she becomes kind of the worst to beat. It's a rare situation where you've got Kara's Dream Chaser, and I don't know the story of why this horse was disqualified from purse money the first 3 times, but it's nothing to do with Mitch Friedman from what I can tell. So it must be some sort of administrative situation with this horse being disqualified like that, and this horse is pretty good. I mean, this horse is way the horse to beat.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't the quickest race in the world, right? But she did break her maiden at 1 1/16, and then they tried just way too tough with the grade 2 Miss Grillo. Took a shot against ground support.
She didn't run
ran
that
very good
badly.
in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Fillies.
Yeah.
Still, I don't. She may have to improve a little bit off that maiden win
Maybe.
to beat this group.
Maybe.
For me,
You went to the first time Chad Brown runner.
It's too easy in this game. Things don't usually work out that seem too easy. Chad Brown, you
With a big
usually kind of
pedigree.
default to in a race like this anyway, and there's so much win early pedigree with this, it just seems like it's too easy.
And Flavia Pratt, so you'll be getting a big price.
The Dam was a 2-time winner on the two-time winner on the turf.
Production, it's been good.
I'll get to that, unless you want to.
No, don't.
Dam was a 2-time winner on the turf who was multiple stakes placed against New York breds. Produced Runaway Rumor, who was a 4-time winner on the grass, started 3 for 3, multiple stakes winner. My Heart Belongs to Daddy.
The slowest
who was a
horse
first-out
ever
winner.
to wire multiple fields, because the jockeys decided, all the other jockeys decided, oh, she's a speed horse. They didn't notice she was going 51 and a half, so they just kept letting her go 51 and a half. lot of cleverness involved.
So, yeah, Runaway River,
Scuttlebuzz.
first out. My Heart Belongs to Daddy, first out winner. Scuttlebuzz, 8-time winner on the grass. LeChase, first out winner. Greatest Stakes place. It seems too good to be true, right?
I left the horse out because I don't want to take a short price just on this horse. And by the way, I didn't
Out of the mix?
I never asked Chat because there were other horses I wanted to pick because the 14 got in. And as I believe me, I have not asked Chad Brown about this horse. For all I know, he loves this horse. I have no idea. I just did not want to take a horse that's going to be a short price in that kind of pedigree with Flavian, and you're just going to take the worst of it. You're probably right. This horse will probably run well. I just did not want to take the worst of it. And if I was going to take a firster, I want the 7, Bernina Express, whose dam's a multiple winner in the turf. Nyquist, an effective turf stallion. This horse is a half to 3 turf winners. They're actually okay. I thought this horse had plenty of pedigree, and unlike the 5, this horse would be a big price. And I'm getting Ricardo Santana. He's pretty good too.
Yeah, I thought about putting this horse a lot higher. I actually thought about putting the horse on top. One of the turf winners that you talk about was Tripoli, who won the Pacific Classic as well, the dam produced. Nyquist is 13% turf routes. Interesting for sure.
Yeah.
There's too much win early pedigree with the 5 for me.
I hear you. I got no problem with that. I think that Live in the Breeze ran really well last time. Broke a length and a half slow, was wide around the racetrack, never had a chance. And I think that Live in the Breeze is going to run well in this race. I think Airstream Chaser's good in here. I think Starship Ava's good. I went to a different firster. I thought there was enough pedigree with the 7. I'd take a shot. But I think the others were that good that I couldn't take a shot with a firster. And I took the less.
I'd definitely
the
be
road
using
less
that horse
traveled.
in multi-race tickets.
All right, we'll see what happens in race number 5. We'll take a break, and we'll be back with the late pick 4.
You bet with Naira Bets. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime. Download the Naira Bets app to play today and get a $200 deposit bonus. Watch live horse racing. Get expert picks. Boost your bankroll with weekly promotions and hone your handicapping skills with exclusive tips and tutorials. Download the Naira Bets app now. Sign up now to claim your $200 deposit match bonus. You bet with Naira Bets.
We're back. Greg and Andy, race number 6 on the turf at a mile and 3 seconds. We've also announced that we were supposed to be getting turf racing on Sunday, but we're going to try to run a race or 2 on the outer next week, weather permitting.
Okay.
So they're just the outer course we'll be using, but you can say outer course. You can't. Anyway.
This is, in some ways, the most interesting race on the card.
Well, because Space Legend is in here, and obviously if Space Legend can still run, and by the way, Space Legend's form in 2025 was not very good, but the prior form will just destroy this field. I copped out with this horse too.
I so did not want to pick this horse under any circumstance, and I wound up doing it. Look,
It's
this
also
horse,
Los Angeles.
So-
Rebels Romance, Al Rifa.
second to Calandigan, who's probably going to be the European Horse of the Year this year. This was last year. Beat a length and a half to Los Angeles, who's a Group 1 winner in Europe at 2, 3, and 4. As you said, faced Rebels Romance and Al Rifa, who
Al
won the
Rifa
Irish
ran it,
St.
and
Ledger.
Al Rifa, you just saw, ran the
and was in
Melbourne
the
Cup.
favorite, I believe, favorite or second choice in the
close,
Melbourne
yeah,
Cup.
yeah. Didn't run
this
like
horse can run blindfolded probably and beat this field if he still has ability, but it's a big question mark because the 2 races coming back, he has not been close to what he was. They tried gelding him for the comeback in May, off a long time away. Didn't work. Then he goes to the bench off one more start. Now they're going to bring him here. Presumably, maybe Lasix will work for him coming here. There's question marks for sure.
I found funny stats. Bill Mott, first time foreign shippers and turf routes. He's actually 4 for 12 with a 389 ROI, but he's 0 for 5 at Naira. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
He's 4 for 7 outside of Naira. It may just be timing. You know, he ran the 3 of the winners were at Gulfstream. I agree. And the thing was, as we look at Durand, Durand is the kind of horse that Chad Brown, he gets him to win, got a perfect trip last time, but they seem to win back. But my God, did he get a perfect trip last time?
He did, but he looks like he's put together a couple of efforts now back-to-back where he is going to take a big move forward, I think. 3-year-old, end of the year here, got kind of a late start. I mean, he gets some separation here, doesn't he?
Yeah, and the other thing is, the horses that have the form at one time were Mutawid and Boys, who gets it off the layoff.
Who's
After
a
also-
little interesting.
But both of those horses are somewhat off form.
Yes,
And
especially
you've
Boys.
got a horse for Chad Brown that's moving forward, and two horses that seem to be moving backwards, and that worries me about both of them.
And
Boys is a little bit interested in getting in.
yeah, he is, but there's a good chance too he can't run anymore. I will say the one is interesting at a huge price. He's run some very. I know it was bottom level turf. This horse has some major back races that make him interesting, and that was actually a pretty fast turf race. But yes, I understand it was 12.5 at the Meadowlands.
I don't want Mutawid. First of all, he's better going longer. He was lucky he won that race. It turned out to be a bad race, but he does have races that can win it, so I can understand him.
Navy Seal's pretty good too, who beat him 2 back.
Yeah, it just seems like his form is falling apart a little bit. That's what we're but he can win here. I mean, Interceptor's obviously a little interesting in this race. My problem with him is he's got a smidgen of turf pedigree, but Chad Brown running him on the turf for his 6th start just says to me a horse that he's just sort of given up because he isn't running any good on the dirt, and he says, "Oh, I'll take a shot in the turf." But
Second dam stakes place sprinting on the grass. So it's
but it kind of equals the dirt races, so it's not like there's improvement. And this horse has only the one dirt race that's good and was on a good rail that day. I think DuPont Law is a little bit interesting here. The problem with DuPont Law is he's probably just not good enough. But I thought his win last time, he actually ran pretty well in there. He made a big run. Not a lot of horses were making runs in that race. I thought he actually ran pretty well in there, and it wasn't that bad a field. I just don't know if it's good enough to beat these. Easy horse to see, has a big white
off
blaze.
a maiden win, hasn't raced since March, and 3rd start of his career. It's tackling some potentially a monster, and then some other very good horses.
Yeah, it's a funny race, but like you, I went to Space Legend. But I agree, I'm not overly confident. Race number 7. So we'll take a look at Senza Paroli and Despo's Dream, who finished 3rd in that race. As it turns out, I think Chad just got a little bit overeager, running him in the Gallant Bloom. And she didn't run that badly in there, to be honest with you. She is clearly not the horse that she was last year, where she showed so much promise in her debut. She's still run pretty well, and it is fair to say that for her first start of the layoff, she got caught into a pretty quick pace in this race. Now she's outside the speeds. I just thought she was going to be very hard to beat. Are you against her?
I'm against her.
Oh, why?
I picked her 3rd. I just don't think she's close to what she was. I think there's some other very good runners in this field that she's going to have to deal with. I just think she's going to get way over bet because of her name and because what she did in her debut for the Connections.
And the guy riding her.
Yeah.
So you pick Grammy Girl. I don't like Grammy Girl, but go ahead.
So Grammy Girl, I think, is just getting really good late in her 4-year-old campaign. Her last 2 starts are the best of her career. She's paired up 2 figures that are the fastest races of anyone in this field. I feel she's going to move forward off that performance, and she can be tactical from the outside. I love that she gets the outside post in this spot and is able to see what kind of goes on inside of her in here. I think she is. Army Gal obviously ran a big race last
We'll
time
get to
out.
her in a second.
I want to see it again from her. Grammy Girl for me is the one going in the right direction.
Yeah, I didn't like her last race. She beat Rosina. That race for Rosina makes no sense. Rosina's in Sunday, and it's just an outlier for her, and I question her. So we're going to agree to disagree on her. But I get it. I get where you're going. I just don't like her. As far as Army Gal, we'll take a look at her last race. You know, she's a better sprinter. She wants to go shorter. So I think, going the 6.5 furlongs had a lot to do with it. And this was a fast race. Collected data, ran a couple buyer points lower, winning here the other day. I have always liked this horse. I think she's pretty good. I think Senzaroli's better, but I think she can win. The horse that scares me in here a little bit that I think is interesting at a price is She's Fascinating. Now, I don't know who's riding this horse. Let me see if I can find an email to tell us who's riding this horse. Being ridden by Jose Lezcano. She's Fascinating's maiden win was pretty good. And then something went wrong. But isn't she a little interesting? It feels like Tony's Dutro's horses have been super live. You don't like her, huh?
No, look, she's interesting. She was in a really tough spot, and then she goes to the bench, and she took a huge move forward, that 3-year-old debut. So yeah,
she can move
it's a
forward
tough
8,
spot.
10
It's a
points in
really
here.
tough spot.
I thought it's a 77 buyer. Now, I don't know if that's an accurate description of her because her other 3 races are considerably worse. but she's the price horse I'm going to try to
I
get
think
involved with here.
the 3 to get a piece of it is interesting.
Really? Okay. Off that $17,500 maiden
Well, she
win.
faced with the Angels last start.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you something. With the Angels is in Sunday, I'm not her biggest fan. I don't know. She's not that fast. We'll see. Race number 8. Race number 8, the Key Sense came up in a great race. I thought this was a really,
Yeah.
really fun race in here. Looking at David's line, say, yeah, I thought She's Country, who's got the morning line favorite. We'll take a look at her. She didn't run that badly. Salima, right?
I thought it was
Salima? Salima. We had this discussion today. Salima. Sweet little Lil ran okay, finished third, finishing second. Couldn't catch the speed that race in her next start. And
Ultimate Love was 5th of the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies turf.
yeah, I didn't pick her on top, but I thought she was the worst to beat in here.
I agree. I picked her second, but yeah, she's the one to beat. She's immediately going to be able to. Look, she's tactical with speed as well.
She doesn't need the lead.
No,
Yeah, I drew well. I just thought she was super logical and the horse to beat in here. I took another George Weaver horse in this race, and we'll get to Nashik after that once he was riding her. As far as Bloomington, and we'll show Bloomington breaking her maiden when she beat Cosmic Candy Girl, this was one of these good trip, bad trip things, right? Where Johnny gave her a great ride, he stayed ground, he did all these things. But right in here, she's going to get a completely blind switch while Cosmic Candy Girl's getting a full head of steam. She's sort of left, for dead behind them, and she's able to regather herself and make that big rally. Now, what happened? I don't know what happened last time, but I couldn't see that there was some sort of, problem early in the race. But how did she end up as far back as she did in that race? I just don't understand it. It's like Louis just lost position with her completely with Bloomington, and I want to give her another chance because I thought her debut was pretty good, and I want to give her another chance. She'll be a better price.
okay.
You don't like her. I mean, I'm not.
No one would surprise me in here. Maybe the 6, which means
Okay.
you should probably play the 6.
Well, let's go to Nishika.
I like Nishika.
We're going to show her last race. We're going to show early in the race, and then I want to show the end because she had some trouble in this race.
Legitimately brushes the gate and gets put in a bad position here early on in the race under Rosario. That did not help her chances. And then when she finally gets running room, I really like the turn of foot I see late from her to power away and get this victory. I thought she really showed some ability.
Yeah, that was the early part. I don't have any argument with you. I picked her second. I think she ran well last time, and I think she's very, very dangerous in this race.
And again, it's a case of, these numbers it's almost just throw them out with 2-year-olds on the grass.
I don't get worried
especially.
about them that much, right? And it's not like there's anybody here that's running big numbers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that could say that it opens it up for other horses.
But watch this here. I mean, I love this acceleration.
I thought she ran, I was annoyed because I bet the third horse got off the AEs. This horse ran a lot better than I thought she did. I actually thought she ran really well in that race, all things considered. Maria Callas is going to take money because it's Chad. I thought she's a sprinter, and she got a fast pace to close into,
Yeah.
and I don't like her last races. I mean, Miss Moxie's got a little bit of turf, but I don't see a lot going on there. I mean, I didn't really like any of the others in this race, and I don't want the horses sprinting. I don't want the horses that won sprinting towards the outside, though you've got the 8 in there and Cosmic Candy.
Yeah, I just thought she was interested stretching out and might be the one on the lead. And I'm not, we usually get late where turf season's winding up here. In the last couple of years, speed has been great. We haven't really seen any evidence of that really.
The rails are at 0 on the inner. I didn't think it affected things yesterday, but
Yeah, we
watch
did have a
it.
35-1 shot on front who wound up second and looked like it was going to spring
That
a
was
big
on the
upset.
outer. That was on the outer.
on the outer,
And the
okay.
outer's at 24 now.
Okay.
And that was a race that was dominating the front end because the favorite won the race on the outside.
Right.
So maybe the 35-1 shot that had some things to like about him, frankly.
Yeah.
A horse I had bet actually.
But
in the
I think
past.
this horse is dangerous stretching out for the first time.
The 8. Well,
Yeah.
it's Flavian. So.
But honestly, can you say I could throw anyone out in this race?
No,
It's-
but there are horses I like less. I mean,
Yeah.
than others. I don't like Maria Callas. So no, I agree. I don't think there's any. That the morning line favor is 7-2.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
that
that kind of
race,
race. Yeah.
yeah.
No, I agree. It's a fun race. The last race, the maiden special weight race, this was an interesting race as well. And we'll start with Wicked Improbable, who finished second last time, and this is last time's race. I want to show the start for disclaimer, because I hadn't realized this at the time. Dylan almost fell off this horse. You see that? This was huge, huge trouble. And disclaimer would have won this race if that didn't happen. There is no doubt in my mind. And while Wicked Improbable ran fine in there, he got an absolutely perfect trip after that. You can move on to the stretch of the race. He got an absolutely perfect trip. And I will say, disclaimer, had a good trip after that as well. But considering what happened to him at the start, he lost by a length and a half. I don't think there's any. I'm getting tired of Wicked Improbable, to be honest with you. He should have won 3 back. Okay, Quando wired him 2 back, but I actually, disclaimer, ran the better race that day, and I'm sure he ran the better race this day.
He just continually is having problems at the start of the races.
Well, that was unusual what happened. The other time he got bumped. I don't know. That just seemed like bad luck to me.
But he's running big figures. No, he's one. I feel like you're playing multi-race wagers. You got to use him. There's several you got to use. Tom Morley's got 2 major contenders in this race. I just thought Wicked Improbable had a little bit more upside, considering he's a little more lightly raced.
He can win. I left him out because I want other horses in there, but he can obviously win. I've just had enough of them. I just like disclaimer more. That's all.
Okay.
As far as Tom's other horse, Bourbon for Toby, we'll take a look at his race 2 back, and he ran very, very well in a lot of these races. The only problem with him is talking about horses that have issues at the gate.
Who are we talking about?
Bourbon for Toby. While he broke well last time, he's had nothing but issues in the gate, and he's lost a lot of races he could have won. But he's not losing races at short prices. He can definitely win.
Yeah, coming out of a grade 2 that probably didn't want to go that far. I think Johnny's Rendezvous, who beat him a couple of legs, very good for Phil Bauer.
I think he does want to go that far. I thought his last race was disappointing, to be honest, even though it was a stake. He was bad in there. He's run a lot better than that. That worried me a little bit with him, to be honest. You've got Operation Overlord in there second.
Yeah, look, I think this horse going a little bit shorter is going to be dangerous and could be forward. I thought he ran an okay race last time out. Obviously, that was against Durand, who took a big move forward. And
He's not faster than Wicked Improbable, though. Isn't Wicked Improbable supposed to be in front of him? I mean, he's not setting fast paces, right?
No. But I don't think he has to have the lead to win either. But he's going to be forward is my point.
He's a funny horse.
I think in terms of who this group has faced, he probably faced the best horse last time out, save for that grade 2 for a Bourbon for Toby, who's had too many chances, in my opinion, but still is a contender. You look at the other horses, who's going to be in front in your estimation?
Probably the 4. I think Ricardo will go. I think he'll be close. No, I think he'll be close. I mean, if disclaimer
Kendrick's
breaks, he can be forward. He's not slow.
Yeah.
I mean, Tis Freedom, in some ways, the 8 is the horse to beat. He ran very well in his turf debut. He had a ridiculous trip in that race, and he ran extremely well. Problem is Bill Mott, 250-day plus layoffs and turf routes, 4 for 48. With maidens, he's 1 for 14. It just seems like all too often these horses need a race for Bill.
Yeah.
But his
yeah,
first
did that
race
as a
as a 2-year-old
two-year-old,
was
too.
very
Yeah.
good. And, I mean, if Mott had better numbers off layups, I'd have picked this horse on top.
Major
Because his first race was
contender.
good.
Yeah.
And, you look at the fig, it's like, well, that was as a 2-year-old a year ago. That number could easily be in the 80s and be contentious here, and it'll be a fair price. I'm going to use mostly 6s and 8s. But we
Another
obviously
tough race
disagree.
to close it out. Yeah.
It's a fun race. It is a wide open race, and that's what happens. Everybody wants to get in as the turf racing's getting close to coming to an end. Greg, thank you. Thank you for watching. Head over to Naira Bets. If you're not a member, use the promo code bonus 200. We'll match the $200 of your initial deposit. We have a $40 contest till tomorrow, $300 Saturday. You know the drill. Go to nairabets.com/contest for more information. We've got a $15 bonus if you're betting 75 or more here and Churchill, Optin if you're playing both those tracks. We've got a 10% win bonus at Indiana Hoosier Indy if you're Horseshoe Indy if you're playing there. And once again, we will not be on Fox today. We are on for 2 hours tomorrow and Saturday. I think a full day on Sunday. That's it. We're
All right.
done.
Biggest question on today's card is Space Legend still what he was? I think.
don't know. If
We'll
he is,
find
he's
out.
going to win that
Yeah.
race. I agree. We'll see what happens. That's race number 7. Fun race today. Good
6.
turf races. Race 6.
Yeah.
Very competitive race, especially in the second half of the card. Good luck. Chris Griffin's up next for the reprise, the scratches and changes.
You bet with Naira Bets. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime. Download the Naira Bets app to play today and get a $200 deposit bonus. Watch live horse racing, get expert picks, Boost your bankroll with weekly promotions and hone your handicapping skills with exclusive tips and tutorials. Download the NYRA Bets app now. Sign up now to claim your $200 deposit match bonus. You bet with NYRA Bets.